Hello class. In this video we're in Photoshop, as you should already be able to see, and we're going to start setting up this axon to be an exploded axon, meaning we're going to put the various floor plans up on top of each other as if the building were separated. And I'll probably go through a couple post-processing steps in Photoshop, so I'll probably make a couple videos or a few videos to show all those steps. What I've already done is I've opened up the PNGs we made from Revit. So here's the first floor, the second floor, and the roof. And I'm going to get them all into one file right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the second floor, and I'm going to just do select all, or Control A is a shortcut, and then copy it. Of course, Control C, or if you want to see how to do it, I'm just going to go up to Edit, Copy. And I'm going to my first floor, and I'm going to paste it in. So Edit, Paste, or Control V, of course, is a shortcut, and it just pastes it into the center of the screen. One of the things we notice is it creates a layer 2 automatically, and that's good. And I could rename layer 1 to first floor, layer 2 to second floor, but you know, layer 1, layer 2, close enough in name. Not too worried about it. So anyway, I might zoom in a little bit on my screen, and I'm just gonna basically eyeball to make sure my second floor sits on top of my first floor to be unified. And we can see that in the varying rendering ways there's some slight differences in shadows, and ultimately when this project ends you're not going to be able to see that because we're going to explode this in a step or two. But for now we'll just set it up here, and we can see if you've done all the steps in Revit correctly, the second floor will sit directly on top of the first floor perfectly. If it doesn't, it means one of those little steps I mentioned in the previous Revit videos was not done accurately, and you're probably going to have to go back to that step and make sure your views are exactly oriented correctly. Again, I got to do the same with the roof, so I'm going to go to the roof, select all, edit copy, go to my first floor plan and go edit paste. It's going to come in centered, but again, if I've done everything correctly in Revit, it should sit exactly on top of my first floor plan. I'm just pushing my arrows just to get it. I think it's pretty much there, you know, somewhere right around there. And I've got my roof plan. So I've got my house set up. Now it's not exploded yet, and so I can do that now. What I'm going to do is first I'm going to extend my canvas size to give myself some verticality on the page. So I'm going to go to Image. I'm going to go to Canvas Size, and since I want to increase towards the top, I need to hit this down arrow second. So we see that turn it to the little dot. It means everything as I change in these settings are going to go upwards. We can see that by the arrows. So I want my heights to be taller. Now I don't know exactly. No, we can always crop it down later, so it can always go bigger. And certainly if I say 50, I think that'll hopefully be more than enough. If it's not, I can go back and increase the number of inches here. But I'll say OK. We can see it's made it taller in that way. And so I'm going to start with my layer 2, which is my second floor plan. I'm going to make sure I'm set on move, and I'm just going to pull up, and I'm going to hold Shift to pull it straight up, and we can sort of explode it. Now I might move the roof after. In this case I've got a lot of site. I can probably overlap the site a little bit, and I can set it there. Again, I can always adjust it after. I'm going to go to level 3, stay on move, click and hold Shift and pull this straight up as well, and pull that up to make an Axon exploded view. Now I can always go back and adjust as needed. I want to make sure I can move it horizontally, or I'm sorry, I can move it vertically up or down as much as I want. If I don't like where level 2 is, I can go to level 2, move my arrows, or use move to move it up to a position that I really like. You know, in this case, I think a little overlap is going to be okay, and the same with the roof. I can go and position that so that the spacing between levels is about equal. It's a drawing. I think it can be visual. It doesn't have to be perfect. In this case, we're looking pretty good. So this is taking Revit. It's in the Axon. I think there are a couple steps we can do to make this even better with some Photoshop stuff, which I'll follow through in the next two videos, which is pocheting walls and connecting the floor plans with a line as well. But that's the basics of setting up the exploded view from our Revit exports.